I take great pleasure in welcoming you this evening. And also, I take great pleasure in saying that the site is now live and up and happening. So we are very, very excited about that. Let me tell you, on Thursday, I wasn't very sure if we were going to have a website live on Monday. You know, we always say, or developers will say a certain date. And those of you that have been with us during the transition period before we launched, every week we said next week. And I did not want to go through that again. So I'm very, very excited to say that the site is live. It is fast. It's much faster than it was. I don't know if you guys have noticed. And if you are getting any error codes, please just log them with support, because we are ready to just fix everything. There shouldn't be anything going on, but I've learned not to not overpromise and underdeliver, totally the other way around. But we've had some wonderful changes. I just want to see. So if you are trying to send an invite link, you need to make sure that, number one, you verified your email. So these are the changes that have happened. So number one, go into your personal profile, and at the top of your personal profile, it will be written in bold, please note, and then in red, verify your account. If you click that, you will get an email sent to your email address. You go to your email address and it will say, hello, whatever your username is, click here to validate your email. When you click on that link, then you will get taken back to a Gift of Legacy page that says you have been verified, and then you can log in. Once you've logged in and you go back to your personal profile, that message won't be there anymore. So you need to be verified. It's really important. It is for your safety. And also, just speaking about safety, please go and also set up your two-factor authentication. Now, don't go and do it if you don't know anything about two-factor authentication, because you need to have two-factor authentication set up. You can YouTube it. It takes like 5 minutes to watch a video. I personally have got something called Authy. It's an app. You put it on your phone or your computer. Make sure that whatever device you're on most of the time, you've got it there, because there's nothing worse than if you've got it on your computer and you're out and about and you want to look at Gift of Legacy, you're not going to have your computer available to get the code. So just, I'd probably say get it on your phone. This is for your safety. We've got a huge amount of people that are coming in. Just this week, we've been told that 150,000 people from Russia will be joining. We've gone completely viral in Russia. Everybody in Russia wants to join Gift of Legacy. It is like the hot topic, and everybody wants to get in. And I think it's such a beautiful way of changing their reality, because right now they can't use MasterCard. They can't use Visa. They've been completely cut off from the rest of the world. And I like to have a neutral approach on everything. So I'm not in support or against, but I'm in support of the fact that they are at the forefront of creating change, because we all need currency. And every Russian that I've come into contact with has easily gifted me with crypto. And I'm just so glad that there is a platform for them to still generate and create wealth. And how beautiful that it's going to be done through gifting. So if you want to generate and invite a link, you need to be verified. And of course, your gift needs to be confirmed. So you can't have the red stripe over your name, and you need to be verified. Then you'll be able to send a link. What else is there?
Candz, I see a few people are saying verifying emails are not arriving. That let's just not make that a blanket statement. There are, I think there have been exceptions, but generally people have been getting those. So we'll make a note of that and just run it by our team again. So thank you for highlighting that for us. But just so you know, it's not that is not the case for everybody. So we just got to figure out why. Okay.
Yeah, so also what's happened is the system's been down. So if you did try and verify an email, let's say Thursday before we shut the site down, it actually takes 48 hours before you can try verify again. Again, that's for your safety. So Dr. Luacho, maybe you're still in that 48-hour period, because, you know, we've got to cut out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today. So try tomorrow. And then also A lot of the support tickets we haven't been able to answer because there were like 800 tickets all saying that the site is down. So just start logging your support from tomorrow. Then with regards to jumping on boards, so what was happening was a lot of people have been joining and then they jump on and off boards. So now what we are doing is you can only join a board every 60 minutes. So if you like to jump on and jump off, I don't really know what the points of that is, but it is happening. You're going to be limited for 60 minutes. So when you are ready with that gift, make sure when you're ready to join the board, make sure that you're ready with that gift, because that is the name of this beautiful activity. It's gifting. So when you join a board, you will be required to gift. And please, the same time that you are joining a board, click on the legend's name. You'll be able to see their details in that same movement. Send them a message and ask them how they would like to receive their gift and tell them that you're on the board. And also, if your email address is incorrect, it's a bit of a problem because we have to do it through support. So you can't just change an email address now. Again, it's purely for your safety. So if your email address is incorrect, you've got to log it with support, and then you've got to upload your identity. Please make sure that something matches, because I've got a lot that we're checking where the personal profile and the identity doesn't match. And for me, that's an absolute red flag. So just make sure that when you are logging that, it will be attended to. We do have a little bit of a backlog of that, but it will be attended to, and you will need to just go through support with that. The same as somebody taking over an account from somebody else, you just need to log it with support, and then we'll be able to change that email. But for those of you that are new, you're probably so confused now. I just thought let's just make a few announcements before we start, because I know that our beautiful community has been very patient and a little bit in the dark over these last few days. And I'm just so excited to say that we are back on, we're ready. And it was so funny. Somebody actually sent me a message last week saying, oh, okay, so are you still coming back on, but now you're changing the name, as if like something was wrong. And no, we still Gift of Legacy. We're still very much there and rearing to go.
Yes, and just to remember, I see a lot of people asking questions in the chat. It's we're going to do presentation now, so hop on tomorrow night for Q&A, and then also we have seen some of them. So as we go through the presentation, we will try and answer some of them as we go along.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to disable the chat because otherwise it is so distracting. We can't deliver the full essence of what this beautiful gifting community is. All right, so I would just like to introduce Angela. Angela and I met, about a year and a few months ago. We both joined the precursor program within days of one another. I think I joined first with Jared, and then Jared invited Angela. And we started doing our own little presentations because we wanted to keep it, real and from the heart, very, very similar to what we're doing at 7 o'clock on Mondays now. And Angela would always come and support, and she was so excited. And she used to do a lot of her own presentations for smaller groups during the day. And I used to do Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then one day she said, if you need some help, I'm happy to do Thursdays. And that was that. I had no idea that she was such a superstar. She's a performer. She is absolutely amazing. She has performed in Candz, Phantom of the Opera. She's the most beautiful leading lady that I've ever met. And if you are ever in Cape Town and you go to the theatre on the bay in Camps Bay, there's literally a shrine for her. So there are photographs of her everywhere. And one day, I think it was Regan and Chris were presenting, and they were in the actor's house. And there was a whole lot of pictures of Candz performers behind them. And Angela was in one of those pictures as well. So her dedication to Gift of Legacy is beyond. You don't see the hours that we put in behind the scenes. And Angela is definitely a night owl that's working on lots of things GL, while most of us are actually sleeping. And she does have a full-time job as well. So I just want to say thank you for always being available, always being of support, and for just being such a pillar of strength in this wonderful community.
Thank you, my Candz. My gosh, I'm just thinking about Regan and them seeing me in a cat's outfit. I was like, I don't really want to be in Lycra on the back of on a Zoom call on the wall behind them. So for those of you who don't know Candz, you're either brand new or you've just, I don't know, been living under a rock somewhere in GL world. She is the matriarch of our community, and she is now one of my bestest friends, sisters in the whole world. And that's why I say, when you give your sacred yes, as we like to call it in our community, because we are a gifting community, you don't know what world you're opening yourself up to. I came into this community not wanting to specifically make friends and be in community. I was really more here to support my friend Jared, who'd got himself into something that I thought was probably illegal. So I should, just check it out a little bit. And then I came on one call and I got to meet Candz and a number of other beautiful people in this community. And that was kind of blown out the water. And that's because you will not find someone who's more authentic, real, and she will tell you as it is without hiding without any hidden agenda. Candz used to be a hairstylist. Well, she's still got it in her. She's still got the magic in her fingers, but she just has chosen to step away from that world, because this community is her full-time love. And so Candz, and she wasn't just sort of any hairstylist. She had her own business, very successful, award-winning, and during COVID, many people were affected, and she made some other choices that have opened up this incredible world for her. And so when we migrated, when we were leaving our other space, she was one of the team, for those of you who are brand new, the Call For, who worked together to put this all together. So, where we stand now, we have got so much to be grateful for, and she's one of the people that I really honor and say thank you to, Candz, for doing this with 8 months with no income, just putting yourself out there so that we could continue this incredible gifting and receiving. And now the 7,900 of us that started out are over 200,000 in just a couple of months. So how does it get better than that?
Sure.
Yes, so let's share this beautiful gifting activity with those of you who are new. Candz, you driving for the first time? This is the first time I'm not driving during a presentation. This is going to be really interesting. Let's find out what kind of passenger I am. So if you're here for the first time, you have probably been invited by someone who knows you, loves you, thinks this might be something that could really bring value to your life, or might add another dynamic to your life, because it is by gift. Gift of Legacy is by invitation only, and our slogan is color your world. And as we go along, you will see why we've chosen that as this beautiful, vibrant community brings so much into our worlds. So yes, it's a gifting community that's creating abundance. And the most beautiful thing is, it's not a business. There's not a middleman. It's not someone who's owning something and paying us out at the end of the month. Everything that keeps us together is an algorithm. There's a beautiful algorithm in place that manages the gifting and receiving of people all across the globe, over 100 countries now. And this algorithm is built so that we can all ride the boards of abundance. Now, we're going to share a little bit about this well-kept secret with you, and it has changed the lives of millions. When I first joined this community, I really had never heard of gifting communities before. And I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. Like I move in circles where people gift, and I did not know about this incredible activity. But when Jared introduced me to it, he introduced me to 3 different kinds of gifting communities. And this community really spoke to my heart because of the algorithm, because it wasn't someone sitting with an Excel spreadsheet trying to, you can only go so far. And then an algorithm can really, that's what makes the magic, what makes the difference. So yeah, little did I know that, as this amazing book says, Conscious Evolution, Awakening the Power of Our Social Potential, that there have been billions of people around the world already decentralizing, already finding a new economic paradigm, sharing, caring, gifting economies that, you know, make communities self-sufficient and are allowing people to arise, join together, survive, and thrive together off of the mainstream. In fact, to the tune of, when I first heard about it, that there was already $35 billion being like moving around the world in gifting communities. That was before our incredible community that is now, as I said, over 200,000 strong, and we're expecting another couple of 100,000 in shortly. So as Urban Lazarus says, either we will join together for an ecological civilization in the next few years, or we will become extinct. This beautiful gifting activity is giving us alternatives. It's giving us options. And for many of us who only have been stuck in one way of being able to generate income or community or whatever it is that you are here looking for, it's going to give you the opportunity to look at these options and to have hope. It is a hope-bringing activity. So let's get into it a little bit more, and let's unpack it a little bit. So before I start, just so you know, although I now play in the financial sector, I'm not a financial advisor, nor is Candz, Petra, any of us are on this call, any of the leadership or presenters. We are sharing from our own personal experience and we're giving you examples of what you can expect. And please just know that we are not also tax advisors. You should definitely connect with your tax advisor as you start getting into Gifted Legacy a little bit more. There's just a little delay on our side. So who's this for? Well, everybody, actually, but here are a few sentences that one of them might resonate with you a little bit more than some of the other. Do you believe in the principle of sowing and reaping, giving and receiving, blessing someone that you don't even know, taking control of your own life, or as I like to say, becoming the CFO of your own life? And then why so many are here, helping others to succeed in life. If you've said yes to any of these, then you definitely are in the right place at the right time. So let's have a look at how Gift of Legacy began and a little bit more about our community. So this gifting community is not limited by borders. We have members in well over 90 countries now, and we're growing. As Candz, if you were on the earlier call, she would have shared about another community that are 150,000 that are about to hop onto our boards, which is just beautiful. I can't believe we started like less than 3 months ago. And the reason is this, because people around the world are catching the vision. They are catching the vision that they are able to empower themselves and uplift their communities and their areas of influence. It truly is creating abundance. We have so many people in our community. If you hop onto our testimonial group, who will talk about pensioners, teachers who have received gifts more than they've ever received in their careers, when they'd lost all hope, especially in certain countries around the world. And, you know, I must include ours, where pension and looking after the elderly in our community, or those no longer in the job market, is not what it is in some other countries in the world. So this is creating abundance and self-development, because we are all learning new languages. We're learning about gifting and receiving. We're using things like DeepL and Google Translate to communicate with people of other languages. We're learning cultural differences. We're learning about crypto and PayPal and Wise and all of these other incredible things. We're learning to give and to receive equally with a grateful heart. Gifting it comes from sacred economics, right? It's been around for centuries. Since humanity's been around, where, you know, women, well, the men might have been out hunting or doing whatever that's, you know, whatever era we were in, women were there coming together, supporting each other. That Ubuntu movement, as we like to call it in South Africa, that culture of helping each other. It happens now. You run out of sugar and you run to your neighbor and you say, please, have you got some sugar? We used to do that as kids. My mom needs some eggs to bake a cake, and your neighbor gives the eggs, and then they need something and you give to them. It's the most natural thing in the world to give and receive. That's Ubuntu. And that traces back to ancient times. And it is 100% legal and off the mainstream, which is really, it was an eye-opener for me. I couldn't believe that it could be quite this easy. But guess what? It really is. Sacred economics, it's a beautiful thing.
And just on that note, we have an amazing letter from a lawyer, which will put your minds at ease. So I will put that on the Telegram groups after the call, because we received it last week and we're very excited about that.
Exactly. I think there's only two. There's one country in Africa, and I think there's some places in China that that have legalities around gifting. But for the rest, it's incredible, and as Candz, she'll share that. And so that we can continue to bless millions, that we can share the wealth into the hands of many. And as I'd already said, millions of dollars get shared annually. And I must say that the giving hope part of this, other than education, we've got beautiful self-development in our in your personal profile. When you join us, you can click in there and there's beautiful education available. But hope, I don't know how many of you on this call felt it this weekend when we went, when we just closed down for a little bit, or just couldn't access the website while they were just bringing it all up to speed. I remember just feeling the sense of like there was something missing. Like, there's this beautiful thing that's with us all the time that brings us this hope, the hope of possibility. And when you get to Legend on the Board, there's that hope of someone may gift me today. There's always that possibility and that hope. And when it suddenly feels like it's not there, I realize just how much. Yes, we can't put all our hope in one place, but this really is giving people hope and options that were otherwise didn't have any. So I really love that about it, blessing millions around the world. And as I said, it's decentralized. It is off the mainstream. There is no company, institution, broker, trader. Even if someone invites you within Gift of Legacy to a lineage, that is their own thing. The Gift of Legacy has none of that. No one is going to pay you out. No one's going to ask you for your banking details, any of that. It's an interactive website, and it manages the movement of our boards. You come on a board, you join our gifting community. The website tells you who you need to gift, and so it moves you on. All you need is a computer or a smartphone, an internet connection, and then we communicate via WhatsApp and Telegram. That's really essential. And we have email. And that's as simple as it gets. And with that, you can create amazing things in your life. Peer-to-peer is the game changer here, because we don't gift onto a platform. We don't gift into tokens or any of those. When you arrive, 100% of what you're going to gift, you're going to send directly to the person on your board who's called a legend, as we call them. No middleman, no percentage of anything being paid at any point in time, anywhere. You're not going to suddenly get to a silver board. Candz is going to unpack the boards for you, or somewhere else, and then suddenly be told, no, on this level now, you need to start paying to be in, we got a yearly fee to be part of it. No, you gift $100, you receive $100. You give $400, you receive $400. You give $1,600, you receive $1,600. You give $5,000, you receive $5,000. Of course, the receiving is times 8, but still, it's just 100%, which is just amazing. Peer-to-peer, no tokens. And so that's risk-free. It's an unconditional gift, right? You're giving it to someone else into their lives. You're gifting into their dreams, their hopes and dreams. And you can continue to do that on and on and on, because this is perpetual. Non-stop passive income, that's what we all want, right? Passive income. That's why, that's what the whole world wants to be able to do, is to sit back a little bit and enjoy. And this is perpetual gifting and receiving. You can will this on for generations to come. Once you join us, you can choose to leave if you want, and someone else can take over your position, or you can, gift your position to someone else. The only way gifting communities don't work are if people take and then they don't give again. This is a space where we gift and we receive, and we gift and we receive. And if you continue to be faithful in doing that, this is perpetual, passive, ongoing, non-stop. So, and the little delay here, there we go. It's all right. Gift of Legacy is more than just a gifting activity. You know, we help each other grow. We succeed while supporting each other and uplifting one another. And those are not just words. I can tell you, if I look across the screen, you know, how many of us in this community now, if I look at so many stories I can tell you, you know, between like Candz and Petra and all of us, oh my God, Debs, all of us, you know, we share things outside of Gift of Legacy. You know, George and Linda, I don't come from the Jewish faith, but when it was did we do Rosh Hashanah last year, George? Was it which one? I can't remember. I've done so many celebrations with you now. I hung out online with them and celebrated the new year, and you know, just beautiful ceremonies with them. And so we really uplift one another and share. But when you arrive on a board at its most basic level, you start by gifting from your heart. You're gifting to another person. Then when you move to the next position, you start sharing the love. You share with those around you. Then you become a guide, and you guide your team. You help those around you in this journey. And then you become a legend. 3 spins and you become a legend. And that's where you start building your legacy. It's where you start receiving. And then you start gifting all over again. So yes, we're a community with the same goal. We want to change lives. And Candz is going to show you the mechanism that we use to do this, because this is amazing. This is all the soft stuff I'm telling you about now. That's really speaks. I mean, my heart beats faster on this. But I know that those of you here for the first time are saying, okay, well, how does it work? How does this work? Candz is going to unpack that for us now.
Okay, so I'm very excited to explain the boards. And really, if you are here for the first time, don't worry if you don't get it straight away. I did not get it straight away. My logical mind, from having my own business for years, I was thinking there has to be a catch. Somebody's got to lose out. How can you go from putting $100 in and then getting 8 times back? Nothing made sense. But I persevered and I watched a few calls. And one day I just woke up and I was like, I've got it. I don't know how to explain how I understood it, because I don't think you understand something, because to understand something, you have to stand under it. But there's an inner standing that comes from your heart. And we always talk about from the heart, because you're gifting from the heart. The most important thing is to share it from the heart and to trust your inner knowing, because you're going to be excited about this and you're going to share it with people. And the first thing that people do in this modern day and age is they go Google it. But if you Google Bitcoin, and we all know how amazing Bitcoin and crypto can be, there is so much negativity surrounding it because it is against the norm. It's not part of the SWIFT system. It's not part of something that governments can really control. I mean, they're starting to now. So just follow your heart with this. And when you are sharing this with people, ask them to do the same, because we all have a knowing inside us. We all know what is right or wrong for us. We all know whether something's good or bad for us. So I appeal to you to just stay in your hearts. And like I said, I'm going to explain the boards to the best of my ability. But if you don't get it, just come tomorrow and be part of the Q&A. Then come on Wednesday and listen to Petra and Tim. Then come on Thursday and be part of another Q&A. The beauty about coming to the Zoom calls is you get to know the community. You get to see faces, and the faces start to share their experiences, and you realize it's not just the presenters that are the ones that are getting gifts. It's the whole community. So to date, we've got over 100 people on our platinum boards, which is fantastic. All right, so you're probably wondering, how do I start? Well, you enter Gift of Legacy by gifting $100 into a self-perpetual system. This is the only time you will ever take money out of your own pocket. So like Angela said, there's other platforms where they say you only need to put in so much, and then once you get a little bit of a return, then all of a sudden all of these charges come, or a yearly subscription. It's not like that with Gift of Legacy. You take $100 and that is how you enter. The gifting is purely peer-to-peer, and 100% of all gifts are sent directly to you. Now, we use, like we said, it's all about learning. We use apps like Airtime, Wise, WorldRemit, Revolut, PayPal, crypto, or even payment links, as well as if you're in the same country, then bank transfers. So just remember, there is no middleman or third party involved ever. So you get invited, you get a link, you sign yourself up, you click join board, you click on the legend, you find out what their details are, and you contact them. It is as simple as that. If somebody's telling you to come onto a list and you must pay their money up front, that's not the right gift of legacy. You do that at your own risk. All right, so like I said before, you join the board and gift your legend $100. You share gift of legacy with like-minded and like-hearted people who will in turn do the same. Now, this is very, very important, because I'm sure a lot of you that are new on this call are thinking, oh my gosh, people, I need to speak to people about this. How am I going to do this? Who am I going to find? Don't worry about that for now. Rather, come to the Zoom calls, get a fay with the community, with everything we're about. And then when you're talking about it, you'll be able to share it in such a way that you're not having to convince someone or bringing it up out of the blue or making a phone call to someone you haven't spoken to for ages to tell them about this wonderful opportunity. But please make sure that the people that you do bring in are like-minded and like-hearted, because there's nothing more disappointing than when they come in, they maybe make it through the first round, and then they realize that, oh, you know, it's not really for them. This is too hard. They're not sharing it in the correct way. And then they want to leave. And then they're your responsibility. And you'll be traveling, like Angela said, you're going to will this down to family for generations to come. So just think about the people that you bring in that way, that you're going to be traveling with them for generations to come. So there are 4 boards. There's our $100 bronze, $400 silver, $1,600 gold, and our $5,000 platinum. You will journey on each of those boards, from gifter to builder to guide and then to legend. And on your journey through these boards, you will receive gifts along the way totaling $42,700. Now, don't switch off just yet and think, oh, you know, that's way too much. There's no way I'm going to get there. Believe you me, there are a lot of people on this call that have gone through the process, and you don't get $42,700 all in one go, but you get that along the way through your journey through the boards. I see George is putting his hand up. And then on your perpetual journey, your gifts will total up to $49,700, which will repeat over and over. So the difference there, remember I said you only take that $100 out of your pocket once. And then to move up throughout the boards, you'll be using your gifts to move through them. And that is why on your first journey through the 4 boards, you'll get the $42,700. And the second journey, remember, you're already on all the boards. So all you're doing is you're funding to go perpetual on each one of those. And that is $49,700. Now, I don't care where you are in the world. That is a lovely amount of money. And somebody actually shared in the groups the other day how much people get paid in certain professions. And I tell you, being on Gift of Legacy, you're right up there with the top earners. So get ready for the ride of your life. In the next couple of slides, I want you to focus on the orange circle, which will represent you on your journey. So this is what a board looks like. You'll enter with $100, and then you journey through gifter to builder to guide and then become legend. And when you are legend, you will exit with $800. So that is 8 times what you started with. So let's unpack that a little bit. So you've got your left hemisphere and you've got your right hemisphere. On the left hemisphere, you've got 4 gifters, and on the right hemisphere, you've got 4 gifters. On the left, you've got your 2 builders, and on the right, you've also got 2 builders. And then you've got a guide on each side. And then, of course, there can only ever be one legend. And this is beautiful, because when we have the little dividing line from the middle, what happens when each row of gifters fills with 8 gifters, the board actually splits in half, and the guides on each side become legends. And that's great, because now it's using the laws of nature and multiplication, meaning that when you're a cell, you start out as one cell. And then as it grows, it splits into two. And then those two split into four. Those four split into eight. And that is exactly what is happening with the boards. So there's only ever one legend, because every time the board spins, which is what we like to call it when it completes, the guides become legends, and then the builders become the guides, and the gifters become the builders. So let me show you. So you will start, let's pretend that you are a gifter and you've landed in gifter position number 1. You will say, hi, Angela. I am gifter number 1. My name's Candz Magic. I'm on your board. I'm from South Africa. Where are you from, and how would you like to receive your gift? So the minute I'm joining a board and I'm landing on that block, whether it's my first time on a $100 board or a 400 or a 1,600 or a 5,000, it's something that you do in the same breath. You join, you click on the legend, you see who they are, you type their details into your phone. What's great is if you're on a phone, you can actually just highlight someone's number and save it straight away and then put their name in. And then normally on a smartphone, it will come up straight away whether they've got WhatsApp, and then you can get hold of them. It takes literally 2 minutes. So the legend will say, oh, Candz Magic, thank you so much. I'm also in South Africa, but I would like to receive via PayPal. And then we'll make a plan, and that happens within 24 hours generally. But then gifter number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 will all arrive. The board will be full. Angela, who's the legend, would have got all 8 of her gifts. And when she confirms the last gifter on her board, what happens? Remember, I told you, the board splits. Now the guide becomes the legend, and you become a builder. And essentially, when you're a builder, think about the name, builder, you're going to be building. You will invite your 2 gifters, and they will come in underneath you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gifters arrive. The legend confirms the last gifter. The board spins. The 2 guides now become legends. So guide number 1 would have become a legend, and you now become a guide. And this is where it's really exciting, because now we called it a guide because you are there to guide your gifters that have now become builders. And they're in the searching state, looking to find the right people. And you as a guide are going to be that little angel on their shoulder, telling them and reminding them that we go for like-minded and like-hearted people. If you are ever tempted to put your children or your dogs and your cats in, we say that's absolutely fine, but make sure you've got 4 to 6 people lined up to go next to them. So just be a really great guide for your builders, because when they get their gifters, you are one step closer to becoming a legend. So the legend now will confirm the last gifter, and then it's your turn. So you become a legend, and more than likely your 2 builders that you brought in with you will be on either side of you as guides. Doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes they join later. Sometimes you'll only find someone when you're a guide or even a legend. And the main thing is that no matter where you go, even if they split away from you, they will always come back to you. So you will receive your first 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, and then $800 will be for you, because you were a guide, you were a builder, and you trusted your heart as a gifter when you came in. So you total $800 in gifts. So let's have a look at this now. So from your $800, you are going to be a very good steward of your gifts, because you're going to hold back $400. And this is really, really important. A lot of people seem to come in, go onto the bronze board, collect their 8 gifts, and then they don't actually know that there's more, so much more to Gift of Legacy than just collecting the $800 in gifts. So you hold back $400 so that you can enter as a gifter on your $400 board, and you hold back $100 so that you can go for another round as your perpetual position on a bronze board. So it's not a perpetual board in the sense that everybody on there is going to be perpetual, but you're going to be in a perpetual position where you could be placed on a board that has new people or perpetual people, It really just depends on your fate and your destiny and the people that you're supposed to meet on this journey. But the beautiful thing about this is you get to keep $300. So you get your $100 back that you first gifted, and now you get an extra $200 to go and spoil yourself or do whatever. What I did with my first $200 is I gifted 2 people in because I was just so excited about the concept of gifting and receiving. And I knew that on my $400 board, the best was still yet to come. So like I said, with your perpetual position, what's lovely now is that you go in, you gift $100, and as you move through the cycles from gifter to builder to guide and then to legend, the people that are going to be joining next to you on these boards are going to be the people that have followed you on your first board. So they will be pushing you to the legend position. And that's why it's so important to make sure you bring in the right people so that they help you on your journey. But the wonderful thing about this is you don't need to keep any money to go on to the next round because it's your perpetual board. So each round on the bronze board, you get to keep $700. And as long as when you're a legend and you graduate, you click join board and you go on as a gifter, as long as you keep gifting that $100, you will keep receiving $700 over and over and over again, just like this beautiful Ferris wheel. So the $400 board. So you enter as a gifter on the $400 board, you get hold of your legend, you say, hi, I am on the $400 board as your gifter. Where are you and how would you like to receive your gift? Like I said before, you don't need to bring any people to join you on this $400 board. There's no ways that somebody could start on the $400 board. Everybody has to start with their $100 and go through the bronze board before they can get onto the $400 board. Now, I say this because I was chatting to somebody that said that they didn't know anybody. They didn't join the 400 board because they didn't know anybody that had $400. And I said, no, that's not how it works. You save your gifts and you put yourself on the $400 board, and everybody that was on the board behind you and behind your gifters and behind their gifters will push you through these boards. That's what's so beautiful about this algorithm. So you exit the board with 8 times $400, which is $3,200. So what you've got to do now, I know it's very tempting when you get all these gifts, but you've got to hold back $1,600. Keep your eye on the bigger picture, and you're going to hold back $400. So that's $2,000 that you must save and be a good steward of so that you can move forward and onto your perpetual round. But the wonderful thing is now you get to keep $1,200. So this is where things get really exciting. And on your perpetual position, remember, everybody's going to be pushing you through from gifted to legend that you've invited behind you. And of course, everybody else. And we've got the algorithm that kicks in and comes to the oldest board. This time, you only need to save $400 to gift on each round. So you get to keep $2,800 on each round. So now your $100 board is going to be progressing at the same time as this $400 board, which is fantastic. Now our gold board. Jenny beautifully shared earlier that she got to gift somebody on the $1,600 board, and it was someone that she didn't know. And it was just such a beautiful feeling because she'd never gifted that amount of money, and she'd never gifted that amount of money to a stranger. So again, everybody from your $400 board is going to be pushing you forward to go from gifted to builder to guide and then to legend. And when you get to legend, you are going to get 8 times $1,600, which is $12,800. So from that, you hold back $5,000 to gift a lucky legend on the platinum board, and you hold back $1,600 to get onto your perpetual gold board. So you are going to be saving $6,600, but the good news is this time you get to keep $6,200. This is so exciting. And I have met so many people in the last 3 months that are on the gold boards that are busy saving their $5,000 so that they can get to the platinum board. It is so exciting when you get to the gold board. And even more exciting when you go onto your perpetual gold board, because now you only need to save $1,600. And on each round that you go through from gifter to builder to guide and then to legend, you get to keep $11,200. So you get to keep 7 of those gifts over and over and over again to infinity. And if anything happens to you, you just pass it on to somebody in your family. Because I don't know about you, but I'll never get bored of receiving. So I'll be holding on to my positions. I'll definitely gift people through my positions, but I won't be giving any away. And our last and final 5,000 platinum board. This has never been done in the history of gifting. The most that we ever saw was $2,000. So we took a huge risk by creating the $5,000 board. And like I said to you at the moment, we've got over 100 members that have gone onto the $5,000 board. And when they get to legend, or when everybody gets to legend, because the wonderful thing is everybody gets a turn. As long as you bring in your 2 people and supporting them to duplicate the process, you will have the opportunity to get onto a 5,000 board. Whether it takes 2 months if you're a great networker, or even if it takes a year. The wonderful thing is that you are one day going to get there. This isn't a program that favors certain people. This is for everybody. So the beautiful thing about this is the final round. So when you get your $40,000, all you ever need to do is hold back $5,000, and the gifts in your pockets are $35,000. $35,000. That is amazing. And it just keeps going on and giving and giving and giving over and over again. $35,000 in your pockets, and all you do is you give $5,000 to someone that will remember that for the rest of their lives. So you guys can take a screenshot of this, because this shows the journey on all of the boards. You've got your $100 perpetual, where you're going to be receiving $700. You've got your $400 perpetual, where you're going to be receiving $2,800. You've got your $1,600 perpetual, where you're going to be receiving $11,200. And then, of course, on the platinum, $35,000. So these will all be moving at the same time, but you'll only ever have one of each per profile. So you'll never have 2 $400 boards or 2 $1,600 boards unless you've got a separate profile for them. So you'll only ever see the opportunity to click to join a $100 board or a $400 board or the gold board or the platinum board. So let's just recap. Remember that participation starts with generosity and appreciation and continues perpetually by paying it forward to help others along the way, with gifters becoming legends over and over again. You gift your $100 to the legend when you're ready to join. You share with 2 like-minded people who will in turn do the same. Your summary of round 1 through the boards, you'll receive $42,700 because you're using a little bit each time to go further. And once you get onto the perpetual boards and you've done a round through each of those perpetual boards, you will be able to keep $49,700. Now, this has changed so many lives, and I've had the privilege of witnessing so many people's hearts open up. People that come from network marketing that joined this because they thought it was a great way to make money have contacted me and said that they have had their hearts opened. It's been the most amazing experience. They're not in it for the money anymore. They're in it for the community because it is here to last. And that is just so beautiful. So over to you, my beautiful Angela. Let's hear what your guidelines are. You're on mute.
Unmute. There we go. Thank you, Candz, for I was getting very excited looking at those numbers again. I was just looking at that dollar rand exchange rate. It's staggering, actually. It's just really, and the best part for me is that this is not it's not for a select few. This is a completely fair community. We all give exactly the same. We all receive exactly the same. We all have the exact same opportunity to reach legend on every one of those boards. The only thing that is required is that on your first cycle through the boards that you, other than gifting your $100, you invite 2 people to join you. And that is how you are able to advance to the the 400 boards, so to advance up a level, and also how you can go into the perpetual boards, that's where all of that really exciting game changer situation happens. So to activate your perpetual, as I was just saying, you need to make sure that you have invited your 2. And if at that point, as you get to legend, if you still haven't got your 2 invitees, the system is so impeccable that what it does is it allows you just to have a little sacred pause, and you can then just keep the gifts that you would have used to advance or to enter your perpetual cycle until you find your 2 invitees. And as soon as you put them on, you will be able to advance. So it's just how Gift of Legacy, how the algorithm still looks after the people that are on the boards, because many gifting communities, in fact, it's one of the things, if you're in the community, it might be one of the questions you get asked. Yes, but when doesn't this stop when people stop, moving forward or something? No, that's exactly why this is in place. So please note that although you don't require more than 2 people, you certainly are welcome to bring anyone that is like-minded, like-hearted. Think of those people that if you were starting your own business or starting a beautiful adventure or going on an amazing trip, who would you take with you? People that are like-minded and like-hearted. So invite whoever you want in that category. And of course, you're going to gift $100 to someone, the only gift that'll come out of your pocket directly. And this cycle can just continue on and on and on. So we've mentioned a few things about why Gift of Legacy is unique, but I'm just going to quickly run through a few of these just as a recap. So it's user-friendly. When you join us, you will see in your personal profile that it's really easy, it's user-friendly. Everything is at your fingertips, and it's nice and clear and easy to use. I've just mentioned that we've got this Failsafe system. It has various methods in the algorithm. So for those of you who come from a multi-level marketing background, try and not allow your brain to get really stuck in it's going to be me and then my guys and then their guys and then so that's how we're going to be forever. There are all kinds of beautiful things that happen. As Candz said, your people will always find their way back to you. They'll always try and follow you. Our Failsafe system makes sure that we're looking after the entire community, because this is a community gifting activity. And our algorithm, as I said, it looks after the participants who are already in, as well as new participants and those who've been in for a while, to make sure that if someone is not maybe moving as fast, to use that term, as you are, the algorithm can assist to make sure that happens. We've got cross-pollination, and really, how does it get better than this? We've got, as we said, global pool. There are people from around the world, and you may find that when you get to the legend position, as happened to one of my friends today, they clicked to go onto a perpetual board, and it said your inviters board is full. Would you like to go somewhere else? And they said yes, please. And so their profile has gone to go and help another board that might have needed a little bit of a push. So it's a really beautiful, cross-pollination is amazing. And as we've said, we're a global community, so there are many cultural differences. And it's a really good reminder to us to listen a lot, and not to jump to conclusions, to be patient with. I mean, if I tell you some of the, when we first launched, one of the messages I got from someone in the community who needed to gift me was hysterical. Their whatever translator they were using was incredible. And one can easily take offense, but just remember that we all come from different societies. We learned on this journey. We were calling it a global washing machine. And then, our Asian team came back and said, well, actually, in Malaysia, that the washing machine refers to money laundering. So if any of you have listened back to an old recording and heard that, we're not using that anymore. So global, that's why we just really ask that you be patient with one another, and let's learn from each other's cultures. It's so beautiful. I've already said it's not limited to 2 invitees. That is the bare minimum. It's really the one thing that I was so nervous about joining one of these communities, because I didn't want to be that person who's just like calling every friend on the block, and they see your name and they're like, what does she want this time? What is she selling? 2 people, and my 2, one of them is on the gold boards at the moment, and the other one is on the platinum boards at the moment. And they were my invitees, and we all moved beautifully together. So it's just amazing. You don't want to stop at 2 when you start seeing a change in people's lives. We've got a support team that is there to answer your questions. If you go on to giftoflegacyglobal.com, please note that this is made up of volunteers from the community. These are not people who are paid, because they're not a business. It's a community. It's by the community for the community. So if your answers take a little bit of time, just be patient. Everyone's getting back to you as soon as they can. And then we've got, for those of you who are really keen to bolt on ahead, and you may have big teams, we also have there's a couple of strategies in place to help you to move faster, and there's training on that. But I'm just going to show you, give you a quick example, and it's called our fast track system. Basically, what that means is when you have your 2 invitees, you are able to move on. You're able to move up in advance. If, however, you bring in 2 more and there's 4, the next board up will open up for you. It unlocks. So the boards are all locked, and when as you advance, one of them will unlock and say join. So if you bring 4 people, the silver board will unlock for you, and you will be able to fast track yourself onto the silver. And then the same for the gold. If you bring 6 people, gold will unlock for you. And if you have 8 confirmed invitees, confirmed meaning that they've already gifted the legend on the next board and are confirmed on that board. So what we have is people just dumping people on, just thinking that they've got their 8 people, and so now they can unlock and go to the platinum board, but they need to be confirmed, okay? And then you can open up the platinum board as well. So that is available, but come to some more training. I know it's a lot to take in one sitting. So let's keep moving on.
And then also just on that, when it does unlock for you on silver, and you can advance to the silver board, remember that you wouldn't have received necessarily all of your gifts, because you might not be legend on the bronze board. So if you do decide to join the board, always make sure that you've got your gift ready, because it is a gifting community. So even though the board's unlocked, it doesn't necessarily mean that you get a free place. It just means that you can get there faster.
That's it. Thank you, Candz. Okay. So you're taking this part.
I'll do this one, and you can do love hearts.
Awesome.
So, we were saying earlier on the call that Gift of Legacy was funded because we realized that another platform that we were on didn't really want a global community. They were US based, and they made life very, very difficult for the community that we had grown. So we decided that we needed to create our own platform, and Gift of Legacy was born. We've never ever asked the community for donations, because we wanted to just get it right. And we had a wonderful developer that was happy to, he did it from his heart as well. And we said that once it starts, we'd be able to, with certain positions that we put in, be able to pay that back. Now, of course, this is something that we've never done before. I mean, we've all come from different backgrounds, and we just came together. It was divinely guided, and Gift of Legacy was born. However, we didn't realize that the running costs from month to month would still be such a lot, because for a great program, you need great coders and great developers, and you can't skimp on those things. We realized. So, just to date, just to give you guys a bit of an idea, we have probably spent, or Gift of Legacy has cost about 1.3 million Rand to develop and keep going. And that's probably about $100,000. So just to put you guys in the picture. So, we've got this unique algorithm that is fantastic, and it's hosted on a platform. We've had to now obviously upgrade servers because of the sheer volume of people that have joined. I mean, to date, I haven't looked at the stats today, but the last time I checked on Thursday last week, 220,000 people in just under 3 months. It's absolutely beautiful. So we've got a nonprofit company that is managed by the core team of leaders, and this nonprofit has generously been covering these costs. But I know for myself, when I get to a legend position, and I'm receiving, you are in such a beautiful space and you are feeling super generous. And we just invite you to, if you could contribute towards our fund, that would be great, because this is for the community, by the community. And even if you contributed $5, I think our website's a little bit iffy at the moment, and it's saying a minimum of $100, but in the next couple of days it's sorted. So yeah, I mean, just okay. If 220,000 of us each just gave $10, imagine how we could make sure that this program is looked after infinitely, just like our perpetual boards. So if you would like to contribute to the fund, it will be greatly appreciated. I'll pop the link in the chat, but it's graciousgiversmovement.org/donate/ and there you can make your donation. So I'll definitely be doing that this evening. And I urge every single one of you to do the same. And, you know, when you get to Legend, then do it. If you're not at Legend yet and you're still brand new and you still don't trust the program, wait until you get to Legend, because then, like I said, your heart will open, the generosity will be in abundance, and then you can help contribute to that.
Yeah, and you can also use PayPal. There's a PayPal email address, info@ggmovement.org. And that makes it really, really simple. And yeah, as I said, I just checked in with one of our developers and it's already changed on the website. So those of you who tried to go in, even if it's $5, like whatever, a little bit, or every little bit counts. And let's talk a little bit about the Gracious Givers Movement, our NPC, which is, we've got these special love heart positions available. So if you are already in Gift of Legacy and you have already invited your two invitees successfully, then this is something you really want to look at. So it is a nonprofit that is currently contributing to as Candz was telling you about, but you know what it's also doing is it's changing the lives of people around the world already, and we've got some testimonials to this. So this nonprofit is it's other than maintaining, we've launched the Love Heart Position Project. These slides are bouncing about. I'm not sure which one I'm looking at, but what it basically means for you as a community is, if you've had someone that you know needs assistance, that could be, you know, whatever that might be. It could be a charity. It might be your gardener or your domestic. It might be someone who is raising funds for something, whatever they might be, but you don't necessarily have the ability or the capacity or whatever to help them find their two people. So if it's someone that you don't think can invite two invitees, but they have a need, then because you're in the community and you already have invited two people, you will be able to go on and fill in a form, and you'll be able to put them on the system to see if they will be able to be part of the Love Heart positions. It's currently only, as I said, for official Gift of Legacy participants who have their two invitees. And there's some testimonials, as I said already, that's how Gracious Givers has already been having a massive impact in the community. Candz, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add on to that.
You've pretty much covered it. So the main thing to remember is, if you've got a position in Gift of Legacy and you've already invited your two and everything's running smoothly, and you know somebody or a charity, it could be a domestic worker, it could be a gardener, it could be anybody. What you do is you click on the link, which I'll share shortly, and then you can sign them up. If they don't necessarily have a smartphone or a computer and you're worried about them managing their own accounts, you can manage it for them. As far as charity goes, once they've been verified, you can hand it over to the charity. Again, it depends how involved these people want to be. But the wonderful thing is, you don't need to bring two people, because other charities or other people in need with Love Heart positions will be there to help the movement of the boards on that side. So if you're already a member of Gift of Legacy, this isn't necessarily going to benefit you, because they're not going to be following you on your boards. It's a totally different leg of Gift of Legacy. So just important to remember, we're going to share Gift of Legacy with like-minded and like-hearted people only. Remember that promoting on social media is not permitted purely because there are so many scammers that are on social media. It's actually incredible how you can really pick up the wrong kind of people. Remember, no filling of spaces. And that just means that you're going to bring people in, like Angela said, that you would want to go on a holiday with, that you would want to work with in a company, to help with your success. And that's because all of your invitees need to duplicate the system so that the boards maintain momentum. Remember, people joining the boards create the movement that's required to get you to legend and to receiving. Bring in your magic builders and not just space fillers. Also be the messenger and not the message. This is a mistake that I made right in the beginning. I was so excited about it. I wanted to explain everything in one sitting to my friends, and I confused myself. I confused them. I wasn't in my heart when I was sharing it. And that's why we're here. We've been presenting this for months already. So all you need to do is make it your mission to get somebody to join a Zoom call. And when you're talking about a Zoom call, make sure that they understand that they can come on as an observer. If they don't want to do Zoom, we've also got YouTube Live. They can just come on and check it out. And that is what I would suggest, because we know how to explain it. We've been talking about it for ages. To try and pack all of this into a 10-minute conversation with someone is near impossible. I don't even think that I could actually do it. So invite them to the Zooms, allow the presenters to explain the system. We've got the lovely slideshow, and also come to at least 3 Zooms a week. I actually say come to Zooms every day for 2 weeks until you really feel it in your heart and a lot of the people that are on camera in their community. And also, we've got different presenters. So on a Monday, it's normally myself and Chris. On a Tuesday, it's Angela and Regan. On a Wednesday, it is Petra and Tim. Thursday, Melissa and Tundi. And on a Friday, it's Alan and myself, or Alan and Chris. So everybody has a different way of explaining it. And now we've also incorporated the Q&As on a Tuesday and a Thursday. So that's where you get to ask questions. It's really a lovely community connect call. And remember, we've got a fantastic training called the AIDA step-by-step system. If you go onto our YouTube channel and you just look for it, you'll find it. And AIDA means attention, interest, desire, and action. And that is what you're going to be creating. But for now, just get people to join the Zoom. So in closing, it's important to understand that there are no guarantees, just like in life. Your success or failure will really depend on your willingness to participate, to be engaged, to be that hot coal in the fire. When you don't join Zoom calls and you don't check Telegram regularly, that hot coal becomes colder and the energy is lost and you won't be able to share it. So if you have got this in your heart and you want to succeed at this, just make sure that you devote an hour a day and coming and join us on these beautiful presentations. Also, it depends on your willingness to help others. So don't just invite people and then leave them hanging. You've got to nurture them. You've got to nurture this. It's like growing a flower. You've got to give it love. You've got to give it water. You've got to give it attention. And also remember to follow the ethical principles of Gift of Legacy. Remember, with regards to tax, it remains your individual responsibility. All you need to do is Google donations tax in your country, and all of the information that you need will come up. And remember that Gift of Legacy is a decentralized platform with no third-party affiliation, ownership, or partnership. So if you are joining Gift of Legacy via a third party or part of a package, you do so at your own risk. If anything happens, if you've been promised a faster ride joining these other teams and these lineages, and you land up joining and things aren't moving or things aren't working or you're disappointed in your choice, there's nothing that we can do about that because you've made the choice to join one of these teams. And remember that Gift of Legacy is 100% peer-to-peer. No funds get paid to a platform. You're never going to be asked your credit card details because the gifts are always given to Gift of Legacy participants. And that is if you are a gifter and you click join board, that is when you will find out who your legend is. And then you will gift that legend and make contact with them. Again, the legends are always different because each time 8 gifters come in and the last one gets confirmed, the legend moves on. They then become a gifter. and the 2 guides then become gifters, legends. So there are always different legends. There's never just one person that you're going to be gifting. So very excited to announce that on Thursday at 7:30 GMT +1, I was advised that it's now GMT +1 because the clocks have changed. So on Thursday at 7:30 GMT +1, we have our first Zulu presentation. So very proudly South African. We've got Charles that's going to be doing that. And he says in their culture, remember, because we're a global community, they keep it short. They just want to know what the story is. So half an hour is all we need. Remember, our main English Zooms are on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, same time as this evening. Of course, on Mondays, we start an hour earlier if you would like to meditate and just open up your heart even more and really experiencing the gifting and the beautiful energy that surrounds all the people that are involved. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we've got our community question and answers, which is the same time as well. Saturday trainings, we've got them at 10 o'clock in the morning, South African time. And then, of course, we've got our German Monday. So right after this call, we've got our German Zoom. And then on a Wednesday after our call, we've got our Spanish Zoom. We've got our Asia Pacific calls, which are a Wednesday and a Thursday, 7 o'clock GMT +8 and 9 o'clock GMT +8. Then we've also got Finnish, Italian, Portuguese, French, Russian, and so many more. So we are actually in the next couple of weeks going to get together with all of the presenters, and we are going to diversify and make sure that we are explaining this the same and that we're getting the message across all countries and all languages. And just with regards to the Finnish call, there is a beautiful call at, I think it's 6 o'clock GMT +1, so 6 o'clock South African time, which is all about the philanthropic way of gifting. And it's hosted by Maria, and it's really beautiful. So join her on that as well. And then these are our official Telegram groups. So we've got our Gift of Legacy official community. Then we've got our official info only. And then my favorite, the Gift of Legacy testimonials. Those are the 3 official ones. I think the community group is on 21,000 strong now. So it's growing every day. And we had to switch off the chat there because it was just getting unmanageable and people were speaking in different languages and we just couldn't manage it. So it is also an info only channel at the moment. We've also got our German, Portuguese, and Italian. And like we said, there's also Spanish and Russian. I think there's about 5 or 6 Russian groups that I'm on, but there's one that's already got 5,000 people on. But that community is growing at a rapid rate, and we are expecting another 150,000 people from Eastern Europe to be joining us in the next couple of weeks. So how does it get better than that? Over to you, Ange.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. So if you are here for the first time, please go back to the person who invited you and, let them know if you want to come back to watch another Zoom or get the YouTube link or hop onto our Telegram group. And yeah, just come back and hear a little bit more before you make a decision. We want you to make a decision that's right for you. And we'll welcome you with open arms into our community when you are ready, if you are ready. So thank you so much for joining us. We've gone a little bit over time today, but that's because we were putting in all of the information plus the presentation. So thank you for your patience. And yeah, I don't know if there was, Candz, if there was anyone that wanted to share anything else specifically, but otherwise I think we should probably call it a night because we've kept everyone a little bit longer.
Yeah, we can call it a night, and we'll see you same time tomorrow for our questions and answers, where you can get an opportunity to ask questions and have chats with our community. And thank you so much for everyone for being here. Thank you for your love. And please join us on a Monday at 7 o'clock because it's a really beautiful way to start the week. And thank you for presenting with me tonight, Angela. As always, it's a pleasure. And we love you guys so very much.
Yes. And yeah, tomorrow you can come and ask your questions, Q&A. We'll see, everyone will be on the call to help you and answer and do whatever they can. Lots of love, guys. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, beautiful.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love
Good
you
job.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Worldwide.
Couple
Yes.
of years.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, bye,
Thank
bye,
you.
bye. Love
Love
you.
you guys. Thank you very
Bye-bye,
much.
You
everybody.
Keep
too.
your eyes, keep on keeping on. Love you
Bye,
all. Bye.
everybody.
Love you
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Amen.
Ciao.
Hello, man.
Arrivederci. Buonasera.